Look, I just wanted to have a quick discussion with regards to ensuring that whilst we go to this, looking particularly towards solar, as part of the renewable future, that our energy markets and our energy systems are maintaining our sovereignty and our security. I just wondered if there's anyone there who is aware of the solar inverters and discussion around those. Is that you, Mr. Duggan?
Yeah, I'll ask one of my colleagues to come up who's been working on this specifically. Senator.
So for those listening at home, a solar inverter is what we use to convert energy from rooftop solar panels into usable electricity for homes and businesses. Do we know what percentage of these solar inverters are coming from international markets, and what percentage are Australian made and owned and operated?
Good morning, good afternoon, correction, Senator. Martin Squire, Branch Head for Energy Security, Crisis Response and GEMS. A large proportion, Senator, of inverters installed in Australia are coming out of China and Austria in terms of Fronius. The exact percentages, Senator, I'd have to take on notice.
Okay, I'm happy to table an article here, but it's got 58% of the Australian inverter market is coming out of China. So I don't know if anyone wants a copy of that, but I'm happy to table that article that talks about that. Can you maybe explain for us, these are connected to the internet, correct?
Senator, generally, if the inverters, the people using them have some form of monitoring or they're connected to a virtual power plant, so yes, they usually are connected to the internet, Senator.
Okay, and what have been the considerations, what have been the reviews looking at where these inverters have originated from, particularly when it comes to the fact that, under China's own national intelligence laws, Beijing can fundamentally tell these companies to, they can sabotage, they can surveil, or they can disrupt power supplies. So what is being done to ensure that we have sovereignty and our sovereign risk is protected when it comes to our energy markets?
Senator, I might go firstly to responding to the part of your question around securing these devices rather than a manufacturing issue, which is more for our colleagues from the Department of Industry, Science and Resources. So the Department's well aware of the concerns about the potential for state actors and others to misuse rooftop inverters. Senator, in the October 22 budget, the Department received funding to enable us to do some work around developing standards to secure or better secure rooftop inverters in terms of the cyber security for those particular inverters. That work is ongoing. We've engaged Standards Australia to do a standards assessment process for us. That work is on track. Standards Australia are currently in the process of finalising that report for the Department, and then we'll be in a position to move forward with a standards development proposal with Standards Australia in terms of additional cyber standards for rooftop inverters.
So, it's still developing. We're still looking at how we can better secure and provide surety to those who have Chinese-made inverters.
Yes, Senator. The issue of standards development is a complicated process. As you'd be aware, Senator, Australia has the largest proportion of rooftop solar anywhere in the developed world, 1 in 3 households in Australia, and it's something that the Department has been focusing on, but it does take some time in terms of doing the work to develop and then implement a solution.
So, Senator, just on that, these are good questions you're asking, and we are highly attuned to the criticality of them. So at the moment, that's a description of the work we're doing on standards, which is important. But I think it'd be worth just explaining the work that we're doing on technical options as well, which we're working with AEMO to see what options are available in the real world to enhance the technical options. We could briefly talk to that. And we have been working very closely with Home Affairs, Department of Home Affairs, through the critical infrastructure, which you know started some years ago. The energy sector is part of is a named critical piece of infrastructure. We work very closely with them, so I can't go into detail on that.
Okay.
But we can go anything more on the technical work we're doing with AEMO and others.
So, Senator, it's a study produced by the Cybersecurity CRC talks to the potential for misuse of rooftop inverters and the sort of the issues that would create, particularly for the national electricity market, in terms of the incorrect signals that might be received by the energy market operator. So we're in early stage discussions with the Australian Energy Market Operator about a potential technical solution that could be applied in the event there is a successful cyber attack on rooftop inverters to, I guess, restore functionality and stability to the grid.
Yeah, and concerns here that we, did block Huawei from putting in our 5G rollout because of national security interests and our sovereignty. But, on this hand, where we're racing towards 82% renewable by 2030, that we're going to have potentially Huawei having control over these supply inverters in our energy grid. I mean, this is I would have thought, a critical.
So, Senator, we are very alive to that issue.
Yeah.
That's an important issue. It is critical.
Yeah.
Government has given us additional resources to deal with it. We are working closely with AEMO in ways that are described. I don't think we can say much more.
Yep.
We are working with Home Affairs. Historically, we have been for some years now. So it's a point well made and one we accept, and we are leaning in very strongly in.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fredericks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Squire. I might leave that there. I think we